Kevin Cole. I'm an artist, I always say slash educator. I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I was born in Pine Bluff on the south side at Davidson Hospital. My initial idea about art was when I was 11 years old. I won a prize at the neighborhood art center. And that's when I first became interested in art. But then I always liked it, but I did sports as well. I'm a high school art teacher. Her name was Miss Marianne Stanford. She encouraged me to attend the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And she thought that would be the best place for me because of the late John Howard, Terrence Corbin, Henry Linton, and Ernest Davidson, because they were mentors to a lot of guys. And she felt that I could get the leadership and the guidance I needed in order to become an artist. Art became a vehicle for me to communicate because I always had a speech impediment. I stuttered, and through art was the idea that I could communicate on a different level. The necktie shapes derive in my work a long time ago. They came up. When I graduated from high school, I didn't want to go register to vote. And my grandfather, I would go and visit him every Saturday and to take care of him. And being an older gentleman like he was in his late 80s, he always talked about the struggle of what he had to go through as an African-American male. And I didn't want to go register to vote, and he told me, he said, look, I want you to go and stand beside this tree. He kneeled down with his cane, sort of drew me a little map on where to go, maybe like 100 yards, and through a few curves and make a left here, you'll see this big tree. I did that and I walked around it for a minute, and I came back. I told him I had this real scary feeling. That's when he told me that African American was lynched by their neckties on their way to vote. The scarf shapes came into the work in 1995. I was doing a visiting artist at the Des Moines Arts Center. And on Saturdays, they would have me to teach a group of kids that were 11 and 12-year-olds. I asked them to name me one major African-American female who had made major contribution to America. The only one they could name was Oprah Winfrey. I was stunned. And I came up with the idea that I want to do a series based on the achievement of African-American women. So I did this series called For the Sisters Who Carry the Burdens of Other Sisters. And I did these scrolls that include their research papers in these time capsules. And that's when I started using the scarf shapes as a part of the composition. My professor, the late Terrence Corbin, he was very ill, and I was flying back and forth to Cincinnati to help take care of him. And we would have these long conversations about life. He talked about making this transition. And he said, I've never been a very religious person, but I consider myself a spiritual person. And he just kept saying, do Lord, remember me. And I wrote it down in my diary. I've always kept one. And when I got back to Atlanta, I said, I want to do letters that talked about life experiences of the father, a husband, an educator, and being an artist. They were mainly about him making this transition and what to look for on the other side. And we all, depending on what you believe in, there's that ladder that we all are climbing, and we're facing these different experiences. And the ladders were really based on looking up at where we wanted to go. and making the transition one day. Some of the recognizable images, such as the necktie in the piece, or you may see a scarf shape, or you may see a bowl shape or an abstract shape of a map in a place that I've gone. That's important to me, but the communication, I guess I want the person to feel the spirit in their work. It was one art critic with the Baltimore Sun who said my works are like soundboards of human experiences. And I like that. The work, it speaks to you and tell you where it wants to go. But you gotta have an open mind to actually listen to the work. And it'll tell you